Well, it's about 2 o'clock, getting ready to head out on a ride that is going to be probably a 2-hour and 15-minute ride. The purpose of this one is to get loosened up and ready for an FTP test, a functional threshold power test that I'll have later in the day. It's a little cool. I've got my giant TCR Advanced ready to roll. Got a bottle of water and what I call a meal bottle, a special mix with some calories and carbs in it. I got my nice warm gloves ready to go, and also, of course, the Garmin 500, which is the main reason why I'm recording this right now. I want to put the Garmin on, show you how that works, and then we'll power it up, and it's going to look for the satellites. And there we go. We found the heart monitor. Power meter is detected. Just so you know, the power meter that I'm using is the Quark Cinco. It's on a SRAM S900 crank, a 53 big ring. Still locating the satellites. It's a little bit cloudy today, but this will give you an idea of how long it takes. There we go. Now we're ready to roll.
A neat function that is new with the Garmin Edge 500 is an automatic alert that you need to turn it on when you start moving. I also found it was very easy to navigate, even using the bulky gloves that I had on that day. Some of the fear that I had about the navigation was relieved as I headed out through Cleveland Park. Again, it was kind of a cool day. I think the humidity made it seem colder. And here you have another function, and this is the rotating screens. Here I had set on medium. Unfortunately, with the glare you can't see well, but it kept rotating 3 screens, probably about 3 to 5 seconds in between. Here we are climbing up into Cleveland Park. This has nothing to do with the Garmin Edge 500, but don't often get to see the park with the leaves gone, so I wanted to get some video of that as we head up on the climb that goes above the park. Really turned out being a very nice day. I was layered well. My fingers didn't really get cold until I was getting near to home. Here we are peaking at the top of the climb above the park, and then head home. Well, here I am in my office. I finished my ride, and now I'm getting ready to show you how I used my Garmin 500 data, the Garmin Edge 500, how I get it on my computer, and how I share it with my coach. The computer I use is a MacBook Pro. Of course, most of the software that I end up dealing with runs on a Windows machine and does not run on the Mac. So I'm having to use VMware, which I find to be a great system for running instances of Windows on my Mac. So what you're going to see are Windows applications running on my Mac, but if you have Windows, then you should be able to get the same type of screens on your computer using this particular software. First, I plug the Garmin into the USB port on my computer, and I bring up the Training Peaks device agent. Now at this time, I believe the one that I'm using is a beta that I received from Training Peaks. Hopefully by the time you're watching this video, this will be released for everyone. But taking the Training Peaks software, once it's plugged in, I open the files, which connects and brings up a window of the different rides that I've taken. I'm uploading one that I've done today, and I open it. It will appear here in the Training Peaks device agent, and you can see my ride listed here. Then I can come over and enter any comments that I might have about the ride. I've entered my comments, and then I come and I click save, which will upload it to the Training Peaks software that's online, and we'll be going to that next. TrainingPeaks.com is a great way to keep in contact with my coach, Jim Cunningham, with the Greenville Cycling Center. And here he's laid out for me his schedule for the next couple of weeks. And here you see the highlighted day. That was today, the one that I just uploaded. And immediately upon uploading it, I can click and see how the particular ride that I did compared with what he had asked me to do. And as I look over here, you'll notice the comments that I made with the Training Peaks device agent appear here on the Training Peaks website. So once I've got that up, he's able to look at the Training Peaks information and he will comment on it. And the way we have it worked out, he then sends me a file of the particular ride with his comments, and we'll look at what I do with that next. So I come to my email box and I see I have an email from Jim Cunningham. This is a test that I did earlier, so I simply take the test and I drag it, drop it here on my desktop, and then I'm ready to come over to my WKO, which I have here on this screen. And the WKO is basically the trainingpeaks.com software, but it is kept on your computer. It's a client-side application. And so if I come over here, I simply go to Open and look for the file as it appears on my desktop of my Mac, and open, and voila! There I have the information that he wanted me to have here on Training Peaks. And in Training Peaks, of course, you have, or WKO, you can bring up the graphs and see the particular programs that and notes that he has made for this particular ride. This one that you're looking at here is a 2 hour and 15-minute ride that I did in preparation for an FTP test that was to follow. You can see the Garmin 500, Edge 500 did a great job of collecting the information that I needed. You can see the various lines. Red here is my heart rate. You've got cadence, you've got altitude, you've got the speed, everything you would need for getting the data. And then of course over in the other section you can see how well you did on your wattage. Of course, this was kind of a warm-up ride, so not a lot of wattage showing up in my WK. So now I've taken you from putting the Garmin on the bike, riding for a ride, and then taking the information off, uploading it to the web, also taking it and downloading it onto your computer. The device agent will also allow you to transfer directly from the Garmin to your computer. So you could bypass the whole upload to the web if you wanted to, going directly from Training Peaks device agent into the WKO. You do need to have the latest device agent because nowadays the Garmin Edge 500 has done away with the .tcx file, moving it to a smaller format .fit file. And of course the old versions of Training Peaks do not read the .fit file. So you'll need to use this new device agent in order to make that transfer. But with that, it works great, and I'm enjoying the information that I'm gleaning. So hopefully if there are any questions someone have, you can drop it to me and I'll try to find the answer for you if I can. So thank you very much for tuning in to lowcadence.com.